Can a drugstore concealer beat a high-end concealer in an 8-hour wear test on my mature over 60 skin? Let's find out. So, concealers, aren't they the bane of our lives? Which one shall we get? Full coverage, medium coverage, light coverage? What kind of application shall we use? Shall we use a brush? Shall we use a sponge? Shall we use our fingers? Do we leave it on for 30 seconds before we touch it? And most importantly, will it crease? Well, in this video, I'm going to be testing 2 concealers, one drugstore, one high-end, and we'll see which one applies best on my over 60, very mature, super wrinkly skin. We'll do a 4-hour check-in in natural daylight and an 8-hour check-in in the evening. So if that sounds like your bag, then please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell because I produce lots of videos for mature over 60 women on makeup, skincare, fashion and lifestyle. So without further ado, let's crack on. So how and why did I choose these concealers to test? Well, one I've had for quite some time and one is new to me, but both had to be medium to full coverage and last all day, and both of these say that they do that. The other 2 things that both these concealers say they do is colour correct at the same time as concealing, and both of them are vegan and cruelty free. Now the difference is that one is $6 or thereabouts and one is $36 or thereabouts. So let me reveal what they are. So the first one is the E.L.F. Camo Concealer. Now this is the one that is the matte finish, not the satin finish, and it is called the 16-hour wear Camo Concealer. Now E.L.F. says it's a crease-proof under-eye concealer that lasts for 16 hours, gives full coverage and a matte finish whilst moisturising your skin. Now I've had this one over a year and I do really love it. The only thing is you have to be careful not to overdo the application because a lot comes out on the doe foot, so I tend to use my finger, but I'm going to show you that in a moment anyway. Now the high-end concealer is by Hourglass. Now I do love Hourglass products, but I've never had a concealer of theirs before. And this is the Vanish concealer, and I bought it in the mini because I wanted to try it. I wasn't sure whether I'd like it or not. And this was recommended by Andrea Ali, who's a wonderful makeup artist who I follow on YouTube, and I'll link her details down below for you. And actually recently I did a video a few months ago recreating one of her mature makeup looks because she does do some videos, although she's only in her mid-30s, she does do some videos for older women. And so I trust her when she talks about the products that she thinks will suit more mature skins. And she's just done a video going through all her favourite products of 2022, and this Vanish concealer was one of her favourites. And she said it had good coverage with minimal creasing. Like the E.L.F. actually, it says it's a full coverage crease resistant concealer that can be used as a colour corrector as well. And it says that it gives a natural airbrushed smooth finish. So without further ado, let's crack on with the application. So for foundation today, I'm using the number 7 Lift and Luminate, which I absolutely love. This is quite a well-used bottle. I think I bought it a year ago. I thought it'd be a good foundation to use under concealer because it's quite light, even though it's a medium coverage, medium to full probably, but it's not heavy or cakey in any way. So let's crack on with the application. Now we're going to start with the E.L.F. and actually let me tell you what shade I'm in. I am in the shade Medium Sand. And as I mentioned earlier, I think it is quite easy to get too much on your under eye to start with. So what I tend to do is I'll dot a bit from the doe foot because you can see it's quite a big doe foot. I'll pop a bit on here and then I can just pick that up with my fingers. So let's pick up a bit of product like so. And then I'm just going to put a bit there because that's probably all I need. Now my new method of application at the moment is to use a brush. Now this little brush is from Beauty Pie and it is in fact their concealer brush. It's called their Flawless Finish Concealer. And what I tend to do at the moment is I use the brush and then I go over with a dry sponge. I know. So that's what we're going to do. So let us gently brush this on. I mean, I don't know about you, but I do go in phases as to how I apply things. Sometimes I like my fingers, sometimes I like a brush. In fact, recently I bought a new brush, a little bit like this one from, oh, I nearly went on top of my eye. Sorry, I should have said. I've got eye makeup on, so I don't want to do that. Normally I would, but I thought, well, I'll just put the eye makeup on now. So we're just going to brush that on like so, and I will go into the corner of my eye right here because it is a bit dark, like so. Right, so I think that's probably enough product on there. And now I'm going to get my dry sponge, and this is a very cheap but rather lovely sponge I bought from Boots, actually amazingly soft. And I think it was only £1.50, which is probably about, I don't know, a couple of dollars. Very, very reasonably priced. I'm just going to pat that around my eye, probably put a bit too much. There, I think that's set quite well. So that's the Camo Concealer by E.L.F. And I'm going to do the other eye with the Hourglass now, and then we'll put the powder on afterwards because I'm going to use the same powder on both eyes so we can compare and contrast. Right, so here's the little mini Hourglass. Isn't it cute? A little tiny one. So great having Sephora now. It's so much easier to get minis. Right, there's a little doe foot, little tiny doe foot. We'll just apply directly onto the eye, I think, with this because we just don't have much. That's probably, again, more than I need because I'm not going to be putting it on my eyelid. Right, I'm going to take my brush again. I'm going to use the same brush and just gently pop that on, just very gently. I think the good thing about a brush, especially as a little weeny one like this, is that you can get into these little corners here, although I am quite bad at doing the corner there. I often forget to do it, especially if I'm in a hurry in the morning. I think I've probably put a bit too much on there, but what we'll do is we'll get my sponge and we'll give it a good press. That's it. So that we make sure all the product is nicely embedded, as it were, onto the eye or under the eye. Right, so there we are. That's the concealer on. So this is the E.L.F. and this is the Hourglass. And now we're going to pop a bit of powder underneath our eyes. So I'm going to use my fabulous Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish powder. If I can just open it. I just bought a new one. Oh, in fact, I must do my empties soon because I literally had about a tiny bit around the rim of the compact, so I went and bought a new one. I mean, I think I've had that other one for about 3 or 4 years. It's lasted incredibly well, and I absolutely love this brush, by the way. Let me just show it to you. This is from Space NK. I've again had it for years, but I really like it because it's fluffy and soft, very, very soft, but because it's pointed, it allows you to go into corners that are difficult to reach. I'm just going to pat that underneath. As we know, all brands say that their concealers never crease. They say they're crease proof. Now that is impossible. And actually that Andrea Ali video that I mentioned where she talks about her favourite products of 2023, she clearly states, and she's a makeup artist who makes up very well-known women of all ages, and she says there's no such thing as a crease proof concealer because if you've got very etched lines like I have, as you can see, concealer and all other makeup will crease. Nothing is crease proof. So let's get that out into the open, although I'm sure all of you who are watching this know full well that nothing is crease proof. But obviously we want to minimise the creasing. That's what we're trying to do here, really. So as you can see, the powder is now on, and I think both of them are looking pretty good. And actually, I forgot to tell you what shade I'm in the Hourglass. Let me just swatch them for you first. So this is the Hourglass here, and that is the E.L.F. So you can see the colours are quite similar. They're not identical. This is probably a tad warmer. I don't know, it's hard to see. Let me pop my glasses on. Let me smooth this one out because it's hard to tell, isn't it? There, actually, do you know what? They are very similar, aren't they? So E.L.F. and Hourglass. Maybe Hourglass a tiny bit warmer. And the Hourglass is in the shade Sepia. So that's E.L.F. and that's Hourglass there. And here they are on my eyes. Hourglass, E.L.F. So what we're going to do is I will finish off my makeup and come back in 4 hours, or 3 to 4 hours actually, in natural daylight so that you can see how they're wearing. And I'll come back in the evening and show you how they've fared. So here we are at the 4-hour check-in. And this is the Hourglass. And this is the E.L.F. And I think they're both looking pretty good. So So I'll come back in another 4 hours or so and do the final check and verdict. So here we are at the 7.5 hour check-in to be precise. And I really am impressed with the way they have both worn. I think I'm right in saying this is the Hourglass and this is the E.L.F. And to be honest, I think it'd be very, very difficult to say which one has worn better. So it just goes to show that there are some products that are drugstore that are equally as good as a high-end product. So there you have it. That is my concealer wear test, drugstore and high-end. What do you think? Have you tried either of these concealers and would you think about trying them? I mean, it's lovely to have luxury products, but to be honest, as long as you only apply a very small amount of the E.L.F. concealer, it is absolutely as good as the higher end version. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, I'd be so grateful if you'd give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you get notified each time I upload another video for us mature women over 60 on fashion, makeup, skincare and lifestyle. And thanks again so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me. It really does. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye.